Hey y'all, welcome back to Plant and Plate with Mr. Chris. Today we're making a true Southern classic. We're making cornbread dressing. Now I elevated this version a little bit with a buttermilk cornbread recipe. I'll put a link in the description so you can get my recipe if you want to make my cornbread. Plus I got some fresh herbs and some veggies in it. It's just an overall really good dressing recipe. So let's get to making it, y'all. For today's recipe, we're going to start it at the skillet. First thing you want to do is get 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Put that in your skillet. While that's melting down, go on and preheat your oven to 375 degrees and just put this on a medium temperature for now. I got to get my butter melted. We'll be right back and I'll start us off. So for this recipe, before we get too far along here, you want to make your cornbread ahead of time. I made my cornbread yesterday. The reason for that is, well, one, it's easier, but two, it gives that cornbread a little time to dry a little bit, which helps soak up the chicken stock and the other parts of our dressing. Alright, we got our butter melted. Now we're going to start adding our veggies in. I've got 1 cup of celery just finely diced up. That's about 2 stalks of celery. We're going to put that in. This is a cup of onion diced up. Now you want to make sure you dice your veggies kind of small. You don't want anybody biting into a big old chunk of vegetable. You just want it to add some flavor as we go along. Also, I have 2 cloves of garlic that I minced. We're going to throw that in there. And then this is ½ cup of carrots, finely diced. We're going to throw that in there. Now we're going to cook these in the skillet until our veggies soften. That'll take about 8 to 10 minutes. After they get soft, for about that last minute, we're going to throw our herbs in with it and let that brown with it. But for right now, we're just going to sit here and let our veggies get good and tender. And I will be back with you as soon as mine gets there. Alright, we've been working our veggies in the skillet. They've softened some. Right before they get done, we want to add the rest of our spices to this. So the first thing we're going to put in is a ½ teaspoon of sage. We're going to put in a ½ teaspoon of rosemary. And we're going to put in a ½ teaspoon of thyme. We're going to just mix that up. Kind of let that cook in with our veggies for just a little bit. Now, after the 2 minutes that you put this in, go on and shut your skillet off and move it off the heat. You don't want your veggies to continue to cook because they also have to go in the oven here in a little bit. So, I will see you in just a second. We'll finish putting the rest of our dressing together. Okay, it's time to assemble our casserole now that we've got all the veggies softened and everything on the stove. Get you a big bowl. You're going to need a big bowl to mix all this up in. So the first thing we're going to put in is our cornbread. Now, like I said, I cooked mine yesterday. So I took my hands, just crumbled it all up. And if you do make my recipe, you're going to need 2 skillets of cornbread for this. Because you need about 6 to 8 cups of crumbled up cornbread. So we're just going to take that, dump all that goodness in our bowl. We're going to add in our sauteed veggies to that. Make sure you get all that goodness in there. The next thing we're going to put in our bowl is 2 tablespoons of parsley that's chopped up. We're going to add a ½ teaspoon of black pepper. And we're going to add 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Remember, kosher salt's not as salty as just your regular table salt. So keep that in mind depending on what you use, and you can adjust this to taste. So we're going to get that in there. After we get that in there, we're just going to give it a mix. Kind of get all that combined and moved around before we add our wet ingredients and the rest of it. I'm going to work on that. We'll be right back. Okay, so that's kind of the consistency you're looking for. Just get it all mixed together. We're going to set that to the side for a second. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to break up 2 large eggs, beat them, and then we're going to add that to our mix. Alright, we got our eggs beaten up. We're going to put those down into our dressing mix. This is 3 cups of chicken stock. Could use turkey stock if you want. Doesn't matter. I'm using chicken today. But I will tell you this. Don't dump all 3 cups into here at one time. You want to pour about 2, maybe 2.5 cups. You want your stock to be on the warm side, not right out of the refrigerator. And then you want to gently begin to mix this. The reason you don't dump them all in is you don't want it to be soup. If it's not smooth and the right texture, add a little stock. But you can't take it back out. So I'll show you kind of the texture we're looking for, but we're only going to add about 2 to start with. And then we're just going to gently begin to incorporate all that together. Now you want that cornbread to start soaking in all of that chicken stock. I'm going to work on getting my dressing mixed in with the stock and get it to the right consistency, and then I'll show you, hey, this is how you want it to look, just so you have an idea of how liquidy or dry you want it. So I didn't use all 3 cups of mine. I did use about 2.5 cups of my chicken stock. By the way, another pro tip, if you make my cornbread for this recipe, at the end of my cornbread recipe, I put butter on my cornbread. Don't put the butter on it if you're making it for dressing. We don't want it to have the additional moisture of the butter in the cornbread. We want it to be drier. Now, if you're going to eat it with some turnip greens, you need to slap that butter to it. Alright, so the consistency you're looking for is, you can see it don't just fall off the spoon, but it is kind of mushy, something about like a creamed potato, mashed potato, something like that. Alright, now it's time to put this bad boy in our casserole dish, throw it in the oven. I'm going to grab that, I'll be right back with you. So it's time to put our dressing into our casserole dish. You're going to need a 9x13 casserole dish, and you want to grease it up pretty good, whether it's with cooking spray, brush olive oil on it, rub butter on it, don't matter. Just make sure that it's good and greased, because keep in mind we're putting like bread in here and it will burn. So let's put this bad boy in here. I'll share a funny story with you while I do this. So the cornbread is my grandmother's cornbread. And she made just, oh my goodness, cornbread. Even if you don't make the dressing, you need to go try that stuff out. But every holiday, she was in charge for some reason of the dressing. And everybody tried to take it away from her. It didn't ever happen. My grandmother apparently loved the spice sage when it came to her dressing. She'd make that stuff, and her dressing would almost be green. It had so much sage in it. And everybody's over here trying to choke that stuff down, and whew, it was rough. So, when you make your dressing, hey, take it easy on the sage. That joker's a powerful spice. But even though she made great cornbread, she couldn't make good cornbread dressing. Alright, we got our dressing in here. Just kind of smooth it out a little bit. Make it all kind of even and pretty. Okay, after we get our casserole in the thing, this is 2 tablespoons of butter. And you just want to dot it on the top of your casserole before you put it in the oven. It just kind of helps brown the top of the dressing. Plus, is butter. Putting butter on stuff's got to make everything taste all good. And it'll add a little moisture to the top of it too. So I'm going to put my butter on here. We're going to throw it in the oven. And I'll see y'all when I take it out. Okay, so mine came out of the oven. It took mine about 42 minutes to cook. So this is what you're looking at when it's said and done. I mean, y'all look at that. If that ain't some killer southern cornbread dressing, I don't know what is. Alright, we're going to plate this up, take a taste test, and I'll let you know how this thing's turning out. Alright, time to take a sample of this thing and see what we're working with. This thing is awesome. Y'all have got to make this. I mean, it's moist. It's those herbs, the veggies, just add such a good taste to it. I mean, this is one of them things you can make for your holiday meal. Put that in front of everybody, and they'll be like, "Oh, this here. This is Southern comfort food." Thanks for stopping by and watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from Plant and Plate, hit the subscribe button and hit that bell. We do a video every week, and that way you'll get notified of when we got something new out. Hope this brings everybody a little closer around your dinner table. And thanks for watching. God bless.